All right, hey South Texas, we are dealing with a lot of heavy rain and a lot of thunderstorms out there across the radar. So let's jump right into things and talk a little bit about what we're seeing outside. Check out a lot of the heavy rain is mainly up towards areas of Blanco County and even now shifting on off towards the east. You see the heavy amounts of rain there. You know, Gillespie County, parts of Kendall County, Gillespie, and Blanco County all under a flash flood warning due to the amount of rainfall that they've seen here over these last few hours. The rain continues to fall pretty heavy right along the Blanco River. You also see a lot of heavy rain just off to the west in parts of Gillespie County and into Kerr County as well. That is shifting east and is going to move over those areas that have already seen a lot of heavy rainfall. So, more heavy rain still moving through those areas that have already seen a lot of it. We don't have any flooding along the Blanco River just yet, but we are watching that pretty closely just in case. So, once again, a lot of heavy rain, nothing severe other than that flash flood warning. There it is until 6 p.m. Once again, Blanco, Kendall, and then parts of Gillespie County as well under that flash flood warning. Other spots where we're seeing a lot of heavy rain, just south of Floresville. You see some very heavy showers with a lot of lightning. We're seeing it down towards Cotulla. Check on over towards Uvalde. You know, just west and really southwest of Uvalde into Maverick County, we had a severe thunderstorm warning earlier on today. We also had one just north of Del Rio in Val Verde County that made its way over towards Kinney County. So things have quieted down a little bit as we were talking about with severe weather, but still seeing some strong storms out there. So nothing severe, but a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rainfall. And I'm going to pop up Facebook here, of course, on my phone. I'd love to answer y'all's questions as we go through these. Please bring them to me if you have any questions. I would be absolutely happy to answer them. We're going to be talking about the timeline with all these showers and storms. We're going to be talking about more rain in the forecast later this week. You know, some spots could see up to 5 inches of rain. I think isolated spots, that is, could see up to 5 inches of rain. We could see widespread up to 3 inches of rainfall for some spots as we head throughout the next 5 days. Next 7 days, I mean, there could be spots even more. We've got a lot of rain in this 7-day forecast, and we're going to be talking all about it. So, again, pulling up Facebook, please bring me your questions. I would be absolutely happy to answer them. Some of the heaviest rain now, especially up I-35. Oh my goodness, the I-35 corridor looking very much wet right now. Not the best conditions to be outside driving, that is for sure. Definitely a better day to stay inside. I see New Braunfels had hail. You know, New Braunfels had some really heavy rain. We actually got some video in of some of the heavier rain that's been happening over towards New Braunfels. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up for y'all. This is a look at from a home in New Braunfels where some of the rain was falling earlier. You can really see how heavy that rain was. There you see it just coming down really off the roof. Very heavy rainfall just kind of piling up. You know, this is that kind of rain that can lead to a flash flood warning type situation. So you see it's not the best day to be outside, especially whenever you can have lightning in the mix with some of this stuff. So again, a better day to stay inside. I'm going to go ahead and turn the audio off on that just because the rain is so loud. Again, very heavy rainfall for our friends up towards New Braunfels, and we also just got that report from one of our friends that they have also seen a little bit of small hail, which I'm not surprised with. Now, nothing in the way of damaging hail out there right now. If I go ahead and I turn off radar, you'll see what I'm talking about. If I turn off radar and just have hail up, you see that we had a few blips on the screen from where we had hail earlier. But if I put it to now, you don't see any spots really dealing with any large hail. There is no concern out there for large hail at the moment. All that we are dealing with is the plain old rain and a lot of lightning. Could have some gusty winds as well with some of these bigger thunderstorms. But again, not seeing really anything in the way of hail, with the exception of possibly just north of New Braunfels, closer to our friends in San Marcos. but that would be very small. So let me go ahead and stop this and put use our little tool on it. It's saying that maybe pea-sized hail, so that wouldn't be damaging hail, and that would not qualify it as a severe thunderstorm. Just a lot of heavy rain. Seguin right now, not seeing too much in the way of rainfall, but you are going to have that possibility for heavier rain later on today. If I put everything into a loop, notice the heavy rain happening south of you. Man, south of Seguin is really heavy. Look at Floresville and Cuero. Very heavy showers and storms, and just north of you, you're kind of wedged in between two areas of bigger storms. Actually, guys, I have forgotten to bring back up the map. I'm sorry. There we go. So, our query tool told us that up towards San Marcos, not seeing very large hail. Let me pull that up again. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to have that brought up for you. You see pea-sized hail possible up towards San Marcos. That would not be damaging hail. Again, we aren't seeing, if I were to zoom out from everything and if I were to turn off everything except for our hail product, let me do that again. I apologize, guys. And put it into a loop. There, you'll see these little blips. That's spots where we could have seen hail, real short periods of hail popping up here and there. But as of right now, you're not really seeing anything. And so no damaging hail expected, only pea-sized hail up towards San Marcos. That's what I was talking about earlier. Of course, I didn't have it up on the screen. I'm glad I was able to catch that and bring it up on the screen for you, though. So, heavy rain north of Seguin and south of Seguin, just not over you. Dominique said Bill would have never forgot to bring the radar back up. Dominique, you are right. Bill is on top of it. I see, where's the radar? All you see is the picture of rain. Susan, I'm sorry, I got that up for you again. Becky says, will San Antonio get anything? Well, right now, San Antonio is much like Seguin. North of us, there's a lot of heavy rainfall. South of us, there's a lot of heavy rainfall, especially when you get closer on down towards Cotulla and Dilley. But we're not seeing the heaviest of the rain just yet. I think we're going to see some heavier rain as we get into the next 2 hours. Closer towards 6 o'clock, we could see some heavier rain move through, and that could lead to some messy roadways and just really wet conditions outside. So nothing really messy out there just right now, but something we are going to be keeping a close eye on again. So heaviest of the rain that will be moving into San Antonio right now, probably this area over towards Uvalde, which will be moving up towards Hondo as well, will be giving us a lot of heavy rainfall. La Pryor, currently seeing a lot of heavy rain. And honestly, when you get east of San Antonio along I-10, we're not seeing as much in the way of the heavy rain, but we will have that possibility as we head later into tonight. So just because you're not seeing the heavy rain right now doesn't mean you aren't going to see the heavy rain at all. It just means that the heaviest of the rain hasn't arrived to your area just yet. So again, Uvalde, Pryor, or La Pryor, excuse me, seeing the heavy rain. Sabinal about to see heavy rain. Hondo will see heavy rain within the next hour. And then the really messy stuff down towards Floresville, where we're seeing a lot of lightning. So remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. We don't want anyone putting themselves in a dangerous situation. The only thing that we have out there right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch and severe thunderstorm, and a flash flood watch in place, and even a flash flood warning. But that flash flood warning is the only warning we have in place right now. Let's take a look at some other things other than just the radar. There's that severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. Now, I will let you know, B County is actually under a different severe thunderstorm watch that was issued later on, and that is until 10 p.m. So yours is a little bit later, but for everybody else, will be until about 8 p.m. We do have that flash flood watch in place as well. That's going to be until midnight. And you notice it's not for everybody, mainly the hill country and stretching up I-35. That's where we have the flash flood watch in place, something we are going to be watching very close. Again, not much in San Antonio right now. I want to pull up some of the maps. It is kind of dreary outside. You see very foggy and low visibility as we look out from northwest San Antonio towards downtown. The airport looking pretty messy out there, and Calaveras Lake also showing a lot in the way of cloud cover. Now we do have that severe weather risk today. The slight risk, remember what a slight risk means. It doesn't mean widespread. It means severe weather is possible. So damaging wind gusts, large hail, flash flooding, and even an isolated tornado. Even though the tornado risk is much lower, there's still a threat for it. So we're going to be watching for that with these storms as we head throughout these next couple of hours. Remember what a slight risk means. It means that short-lived severe weather events are possible. So we've had 2 severe thunderstorm warnings earlier on for Val Verde and Kinney County, and then we also had one for Maverick into Zavala County. So that lets you know that we've had our spotty severe thunderstorms, but you see that we're not expecting widespread. Again, spotty, scattered severe storms possible. So let's get you through the timeline here. Here's what we're expecting as we head throughout tonight. We're going to have that cold front sweep through, and with that, we're going to have some storms possibly build up even a bit by the time we get towards 6:30 p.m. Check out how the showers and storms are draped across the area. Still could be having storms moving through San Antonio by the time we get towards 5:30, continuing into 7 o'clock. Notice for our friends up towards Blanco, Gillespie, and then also into Kendall counties, the rain could be starting to calm down for you. So that would be good news because right now y'all are dealing with a lot in the way of that heavier rainfall. By 9 p.m. tonight, you notice the showers and storms really closer to our friends in Pleasanton, Floresville, George West, and Beeville. Remember, that severe thunderstorm watch in place later for B County because that's when the storms will be arriving. It's going to be a little bit later. By the time we get to midnight, notice how much things calm down. Once we get to midnight, going to have just a few showers left in southern portions of South Texas, I guess closer to B County. And then once we hit to 7 a.m. Saturday, guys, I got bad news. We got more showers and storms in the forecast. The good news is we don't have any severe weather expected for Saturday, but we do have more rain. Also, take a look at the temperatures. We're talking 50s by Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Not going to be very warm, going to be very much on the cool side. A lot of showers continue to move through at that time, and then once we get towards 7 p.m., you see even more rain that is going to be moving through. So Saturday looking wet, just like today, not with the severe threat, though, as we head throughout Saturday. Then Sunday, starting off the day with rain, you bet. More rain for the afternoon. And guess what? We got it for Monday as well. This is just one weather model trying to take us all the way through next week. You see us trying to show spots here and there. And of course, we take all these weather models and we group them together and we get an idea of what we think will actually happen. So this is just one weather model that I was looking at earlier on. And let me give you a look at what we think will actually be occurring. So we're expecting anywhere from about 1 to 3, possibly even an isolated spot or 2 with up to 4 inches. But much of us will get 1 to 3 inches of rainfall here as we head throughout the next 7 days. That is a lot of rain. And that could lead to a little bit of a flood risk. That's why we have that flash flood watch today because of all the heavy rain we have right now. But we may see another flash flood watch issued sometime over the next 7 days just because we are expecting more rainfall to occur. And that could lead to some more issues. Now, there are some benefits with all the rain that we're getting. You notice that we have that severe to extreme drought still. That has really tapered back over these past couple of weeks. And I imagine that will continue to taper back as we head throughout the next 7 days. This rainfall that we're getting is really nice to help out with the drought. Of course, you never want to get all your rain at once, but it is helping out with our drought, at least for the moment. The amount of rainfall we've seen so far in April is ahead of average. Of course, we're still early on in the month, but I imagine by the time we get throughout the next 7 days, we're going to see our 2020 total get above that average for where we should be this time of year. So we're going to be back above average, I'm willing to bet, over the next 7 days here in San Antonio. So good news there as far as the rainfall we are expecting. And let me also bring up that 7-day forecast. Weather Chief Bill Taylor, by the way, we're on right now for the 4 o'clock newscast. Remember, you can watch us here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on the app and on the website. But you can also watch us on TV at the moment. Of course, you're going to get a lot more information than just weather if you watch us on TV right now. We've got all the latest news that's going on across the city. Great information coming in right now over the air as well. So the amount of rainfall we're expecting over the next week, guys, I wish I could bring some better news, but it is just going to be a really wet week. By the way, that's an overnight rainfall chance of 70%. You notice it's just clipped off right there. That's actually a 70% chance for rain that we have for overnight tonight. And then that 90% chance for rain on Saturday. I had mentioned that it's going to be a great week to be inside. Again, we are still doing our cloudy with a chance of learning every day at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if the kids want to continue the learning, or parents, if you want your kids to continue the learning, we do have all those lessons each day at 1 p.m. and they will forever be on our Facebook and YouTube, so you can find them, our past lessons there as well. So I'm going to bump it back to the showers and storms that we have coming through. Again, the only warning we have in place right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire area, and then the flash flood watch for much of the hill country, but no warnings except for the flash flood warning that we have in place for Blanco and Kendall counties. And then Gillespie County as well. So you see it's southeast Gillespie County, really along the Pedernales River and the Blanco River is where this warning really is around, and into parts of the Guadalupe River as well. Now, those rivers are not in flood. I want to make sure y'all understand that. I'm just letting you know some of the heavier rain is falling along those rivers. I'm watching those rivers closely. If I think that they are going into flood, don't worry, I will let you know. But right now, that's not river flooding is not a concern right now. But we are watching the flash flooding along those river basins. So even stretching up to Johnson City. So you see really stretching up there closer to Pedernales Falls State Park. Janet says, you're good, just don't say hail. Don't worry, we're not seeing any out there right now. I'll go ahead and bring up the hail again by itself. I'll zoom way out. That way we can all get a good view of this, of the viewing area. And you know, we had some pea size up closer towards San Marcos earlier. I'm running it through the loop, and this was earlier today. I want to go on down towards Cotulla. We had a pretty good storm earlier today, just west of there. And notice there was a brief period where we may have had some larger hail just southeast of Big Wells. And let's see how large that hail could have been. Maybe even golf ball size. But it was a very brief period for that hail, and again, that is no more. You see it kind of withered away. That's not uncommon. Typically, you know, you'll get a brief period of hail, and it'll just the downdraft of the thunderstorm will take control once those hailstones get so heavy, and with that, the updraft isn't as strong to toss the hailstones up into the storm again. So you end up seeing the hail core go down. So again, that hail just kind of collapsed. That hail core collapsed by the time it got to Cotulla. They may have had pea-sized hail in Cotulla, but that's about it. We are watching over here just near San Marcos, though. This is near Redwood, headed towards Martindale and Maxwell. This is just kind of on the fringes of our viewing area, kind of getting closer on towards the Austin viewing area. But you see walnut-sized hail up towards San Marcos, just south of San Marcos, that went over I-35, and this is moving east towards Martindale. Now, this hail may not be making it to the surface at walnut size, but it may be melting a little bit, because sometimes the radar will say, hey, we got hail this size, but it's actually looking higher in the storm and the hail's melting a bit. But it's not as much of a concern right now for anybody else. I want to zoom out. I want to show y'all. We're not seeing hail anywhere else except for maybe down here east between Cotulla and Tilden, where we have that's likely pea size. So marble size. So that's not even within the severe threat. Walnut is getting closer to being within that severe threat for damaging hail, but marble-sized hail is not considered damaging hail. Not really, you don't really want it to hit your car anyway, but very, very, very small hail core down there. None anywhere else. This one that's up here towards Redwood, it is growing. That is a growing hail core. So the National Weather Service may end up issuing a severe thunderstorm warning on this now because it now has golf ball-sized hail within it, and they just warned it. So there you go. Severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued for Caldwell and Hayes counties. So just like what I said, once you get golf ball-sized hail, that's when you start getting more into the realm of a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's what we have now for Caldwell and Hayes County until 5:30 p.m. So this severe thunderstorm is, let me get the latest data on it here. It is moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. The hazard with this storm would be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So the big risk here is going to be hail damage to vehicles and then wind damage to roofs and siding. So something else that you got to take into account is wind-driven hail. If it's coming in sideways, if it's hailing and the wind is blowing it, it could cause damage to some windows of your house even. So let me see what people are saying here. When do we get lightning and thunder today? Alan, a lot of people are already dealing with it, but not for everyone. That's the thing. Let me zoom out and show the radar as a whole. Let me turn on lightning. You see a lot of lightning across the region. Let me actually see how many lightning strikes we've had in the last 15 minutes across our region. 429 strikes. So you may not have lightning and thunder where you are, but people nearby are definitely dealing with it. Now, if you're talking about here in the San Antonio area, I think we could have a little bit more lightning and thunder closer towards 5:30, and stretching all the way to 6 o'clock. I see, how does hail stay in the clouds to get large enough to be golf ball size or larger? Why doesn't gravity have it falling at smaller size? Well, it's because of how strong the updraft is. It has to do with the air that's rising, rapidly rising up into the clouds and causing that cloud to grow larger and larger. That hail will get thrown up to the top of the cloud where it's colder air, and then the moisture around the hailstone will freeze. And then once it gets to the top of the cloud, it may be a little too heavy and the updraft may be weaker, causing the hailstone to fall a bit. But then that hailstone will fall back into the updraft again, where the air is rising rapidly. And then that will cause more moisture to gather on the hailstone. And then that hailstone with the extra moisture on it goes back up to the top of the cloud where it's cold. That moisture freezes and it just keeps going. And then once that hailstone is just too heavy to stay up with that updraft, it falls, and then it could be even as large as a golf ball size. So great question there. Thank you. I see some people saying, why so much traffic on the road? I know, I saw a lot of traffic on the road yesterday. We don't need people out there on these wet conditions. You know, a lot of things that people are considering right now and having to deal with. So maybe a better day to just stay home. Again, we are watching this storm that is just near San Marcos. This is for Caldwell and Hayes County. This is really moving into Travis County as well, and Bastrop County. So this is kind of impacting more of our friends towards Austin. This isn't so much of a warning for our region, really moving further on up towards the northeast. So Redwood, seeing a little bit of that. And again, that is the only area where we're really seeing the larger hail. Let me take off the warning here. I'll take off lightning. And I'm going to go ahead and see how large this is. I think it's still golf ball size. So yeah, you know, if you got any friends or family in Lockhart along Highway 80, you may want to give them a call. Say, hey, make sure your car's in the garage or under cover. Not seeing anything in the way of tornadic activity here, though. And let me go ahead and check again just to make sure. So I want to make sure everybody stays safe, of course. That's the most important thing. Y'all give me 1 second here to check this. But yeah, I'm not seeing any issues within this as far as rotation is concerned. It's looking like just plain old rain, wind, and then also the hail that we have going on with it. So something we'll continue to watch closely, but mainly what most of us are dealing with, again, is just that really heavy rainfall. And guys, you know what I haven't shown y'all yet? I want to show y'all the amount of rain we've had in the past 48 hours, really. Or, yeah, let's go 48 hours back, or even 24. So this is just the last 24 hours. This is going to be the last 48. You see a lot of heavy rain has fallen for our friends kind of closer on up towards Blanco County. The amount of rain they've seen in the last 48 hours, 2.6 inches. Much of that's fallen really within the last few hours. Up the Blanco River itself, you see 2 inches, 1.2. So a lot of rain there. Wimberley has seen a good amount of rain. And then when you look on off towards the west, you know, we had that severe thunderstorm warning that was for Val Verde County. And where that storm trucked along, you see 2.8 inches in some spots, 2.6. And as it continued through into Kinney County, still seeing more than 2 inches of rain for different areas. Another one of our severe thunderstorms that was down from Maverick County, you see as it continued its way east, it put spots where more than 3 inches of rainfall just today, really. If I bump it back, you see even just within the last 12 hours, this is just 12 hours now, you see more than 3 inches of rain had fallen there. And I bet it's even within the last 6, because that was all from that one storm, really. Yeah, they had a little bit of rain possibly yesterday, but yeah, just the last 6 hours, they had a lot of rainfall. So you see that's how much of the rain has fallen, is much of the rain that fell within the last 6 hours. So you see up towards Blanco, 3.1 inches as you take a look up, I believe that is Highway 281. It is. So up Highway 281, really heavy rainfall. I know that's where Stacia Wilson, meteorologist Stacia Wilson, is right now, up 281 in Blanco County, where that heavy rain is falling. She was on the newscast at 4. She's going to be on the newscast again at 5, so be sure to tune in. She's been kind of keeping track of everything out there as we've been dealing with a lot of that heavier rainfall. So guys, I want to show you again some video that we got in from New Braunfels earlier on. Now, I did see someone say that there could have been some small hail in New Braunfels earlier. I would not doubt it. We've had some very heavy rain and big thunderstorms move through. I'm going to go ahead and pop up that video again. And guys, again, it's not good to be out on the road whenever we have rain like this. So you see it just kind of pouring off the roof, and I'm going to turn off the audio on the video just because the rain is so loud. But man, all that rain falling, and much of the region still seeing rain that heavy moving across. So we had a nicer day earlier on this week, but now we're just kind of stuck into a very wet pattern. And guys, we're going to be stuck in this wet pattern for a while. So again, bring me back up here. Didn't forget it this time, guys. We got the flash flood warning for parts of Blanco County, and actually they've extended it into some other counties. Hayes and Travis County now under a flash flood warning as well. This cluster of storms that's been north of San Antonio, that's been continuing its way off towards the east, continues to just put down a lot of heavy rainfall, and that's why they've extended the flash flood warning off to the east now for the Austin area. So very heavy rain, and then again, there's that severe thunderstorm warning, the only one even near us, not really for our area anymore, because now it's kind of moving more off towards the northeast, but Lockhart could see some larger hail. And let me go ahead and turn everything off. We've been watching this storm pretty closely. I'm going to turn off lightning as well. So heading up into Martindale, I mentioned Martindale earlier. If you have any friends or family up there, you may want to tell them to move the car. Golf ball size hail moving into Martindale at the moment. Again, this is just near Redwood. This is east of I-35, east of San Marcos in I-35. And this is going to continue to move off towards the east, northeast, towards the Lockhart area. So along 142 after it crosses Highway 80. And then it will continue its way up towards Dale, Taylorsville, where Taylorsville may be seeing some very, very small, maybe pea-size or even very, very light hail at the moment. Zooming out, I know everyone wants to know, where is it hailing right now? Nothing in Bexar County, nothing even near Bexar County right now for hail. Fowlerton, we're seeing a little batch of pea-size hail probably, pea-size to walnut size, moving off towards the east, moving across 97 right now, just north of 72. And then it's going to be crossing Highway 16 just north of Tilden. Not going through Tilden. This is going to be north of Tilden. Now, Tilden, you may actually see some very, very small, even smaller than pea-size hail. But the walnut-size hail, which is not considered damaging hail, by the way, is going to be north of 72 and then crossing Highway 16. So I see it's hailing again in New Braunfels. I see that report right there. Alan says Eagle Pass getting a lot of rain. Eagle Pass got a lot of rain, it actually stayed just north of you earlier on today. Now, Eagle Pass does have that chance for more rain as we head throughout this afternoon. You notice some of those showers and storms just to your northwest. You're going to have that possibility to see a few more showers, but not going to see as much as what they're seeing up towards the hill country right now. Eagle Pass will get more rain tomorrow. So if you didn't get the amount of rain you wanted just yet, don't worry. We got 7 days of higher rain chances so that you can get that higher amount of rain. Let's go ahead and see. Let me look up to this storm in New Braunfels again. Let me see if if I'm seeing any hail within it. I know that y'all are definitely having some heavy rain up there. I'm not seeing any hail show up on the map, but maybe that radar scan hasn't come in yet. So, Joanne, I will continue to watch that closely. Thank you so much for your report. Felicia says it's barely raining here in downtown. It's barely raining right here on the northwest side, too. We don't have any real rain falling in San Antonio at the moment, like some real heavy stuff, like what other areas are seeing. But we are seeing some heavy rain all around Bexar County, like rather around Bexar County, just not in Bexar County itself. So if I put everything into pause, you'll see where the heavier rain is. You notice up towards Bandera, they've got heavy rain. Over towards just west of Hondo, southwest of Hondo, heavy rain. Batesville, La Pryor just had heavy rain go through. Pearsall is going to have some heavy rain. New Braunfels has heavy rain. It's stretching all the way up to almost about to pass through Fair Oaks Ranch. And San Antonio is going to get their chance for heavy rain as we head throughout the next about hour or two. So don't worry, the heavy rain is coming. Not seeing any more real questions coming in. Feel free to ask any questions y'all may have, guys. I am here to answer them. So I'm watching the severe thunderstorm warning up here again towards Caldwell and Guadalupe County. But it looks like the hail core is starting to calm down. Sometimes these hail cores can calm down real fast. And that has to do with the downdraft becoming bigger within the storm. So if the downdraft starts to really take control, whenever you get a lot of hail falling, it could cause the hail core to just kind of collapse. And that may be what we're seeing right here in areas just west of Lockhart. All right, so we're going to, guys, I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to continue to watch this radar. I'm going to put it into a loop for you. Y'all just give me 1 second here and put it into a loop. And guys, I've got to make sure I got my mic up for the 5 o'clock show because I'm going to have an update right here during the 5 o'clock. Give me 5 seconds. This radar is going to continue to loop, and I'm going to get this ready real quick. Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry about that little delay there. Had to get ready because I'm going to actually be in the 5 o'clock newscast. So, again, we still have our on-air newscast happening during 4, 5, 6, and 10 tonight. And I'm actually part of the 5 o'clock as well. But we're not going to go off of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you're watching us from, the app. I just had to get my IFB and everything set up real quick. So, let's continue to watch this. Showers and storms continuing again to move off to the east and northeast. That is some of the stronger storms we're seeing right now with this severe thunderstorm warning up towards Lockhart. Now, I want to turn everything off again. I know everybody has been asking about the hail. I know that's the main concern from everybody. But again, we're just not seeing that much of it right now. The main risk I think that we're dealing with at the moment is going to be this heavier rainfall. So I'm pulling up some stream data, that is the river data, because I want to see if we've got any rivers that are spiking. Specifically, I want to check on the Blanco and Guadalupe, because we are seeing some heavier rain along those. Everything looks fine. I'm not seeing any big issues. So no big issues there. I'm going to continue to watch those closely, though, of course, in case something does happen. I do see that the rivers are going to rise a little bit, but it does not look like any will go into flood. So I'll watch those closely. Don't worry, guys. That's something that we are no stranger to here in South Texas, is the possibility for flash flooding. So we're going to watch that very closely. And again, I'm kind of looking at that behind the scenes here. I'm actually not able to share that with y'all with this screen. I'm not able to share this screen. So, bringing back up the map, there you have it. There's the showers and storms moving through. A lot of lightning associated with these, so not the best to be outside. The heaviest of the rain today has been for our friends north of Bexar County. We're talking Kerr County has seen a lot of rain. Kendall County, even parts of Bandera County has seen a lot of rain. Gillespie County has been soaked. They have had tons of rain here as we've headed throughout today. Blanco County has seen a ton of rain as well. They even saw a good amount of rain yesterday pass through. Some spots here in South Texas have seen more than 3 inches of rainfall today, and much of that has fallen within the last 12 hours to even just 6 hours. Check this out. Parts of South Texas picking up 2.3 inches. When we look further on down to the south, if I were to zoom in, I bet I could find an area that has 3. There you have it. Northwest of Cotulla, 3 inches of rainfall has fallen. Looking over towards just west of La Pryor, we had a severe thunderstorm warning move through parts of Maverick and Zavala County, and that put down some very heavy rainfall. Sometimes those severe thunderstorm warnings can have a lot of heavy rain with them, like what we saw earlier on. Also for Valverde County and moving into Kinney County. And then we also have seen, again, that heavy rainfall near Blanco. The reason why they issued that severe thunderstorm warning is because, flash flood warning. Sorry, I've had so many different watches and warnings today. That flash flood warning is because of the amount of rainfall they saw in such a quick period of time. Just in 6 hours, 3 inches of rain right there in parts of southeast Gillespie, north parts of Kendall, and southern parts of Blanco. That's where we had that really heavy rain move through. So that's going to continue its way again through the region. And I want to take us through the timeline again. Guys, I've told you that I wish I could bring better news. I'm going to bring Facebook back up again. But we're really just kind of socked in for the next 7 days with heavy rain. I see people asking, hail for the Alamo Heights area. James, the answer is no hail for you right now. We'll be watching for some storms later on today, but right now, no concerns with any hail for the Alamo Heights area. The only spot we're seeing hail is actually up towards Lockhart, and that's moving away from the San Antonio viewing area. So no issues. It's moving away from the Alamo Heights area even. Stone Oak area, no issue for you right now, Pamela. Just some heavy rain moving through. That's it. So here's the timeline. Let's get towards 5:30 p.m. Heavy rain Still for our friends in Uvalde, Hondo, possibly seeing heavy rain. That continues to 6:30. Moving to 7 o'clock, could be having some very heavy rain in San Antonio and much of Bexar County. Check out down towards Pleasanton. That could be a little bit of a hail spike. So this weather model could be picking up on a little bit of a hail spike by 7 o'clock down towards Pleasanton. That continues its way through. Could be seeing it down towards Cotulla by 8 p.m. And then the storms continue their way south and east by 9:30. Notice still impacting Gonzales, George West, Beeville, very heavy rainfall. And then things really quiet down by the time we get closer towards midnight. By 12:30 a.m., our rain chances are really going to start to go down a bit. But they're not done completely. We still have that chance for rain, and then the rain chances pick up again as we head into Saturday. At 7 a.m., here comes a little bit of rain, and then it picks up as we head into the afternoon on Saturday. Guys, I wish I could bring us some drier weather, but right now we're just kind of going to be stuck in a wet pattern. It's also going to be cooler on Saturday. You're going to need a jacket, and then you're going to need a rain jacket. And I say that because temperatures are expected to be in the 50s to 60s. So you see how cool it's going to be. It's going to be a very cool day there for Saturday. And just not going to have much luck with some warm conditions for our Saturday. But the 7-day forecast does show warmer weather making a return, and I'm going to show that here in just a moment. By the time we get towards 4:30 a.m., still dealing with rain. This is on Sunday now. So we've got rain today, we got rain Saturday, we got rain Sunday, and guys, believe it or not, we got rain every day in the 7-day forecast. We got at least chances for rain, and you're going to see that here in just a moment. Moving into Sunday afternoon, there it is. Really just messy conditions. We're not talking about widespread heavy. It'll be widespread light to moderate at times. But there will be pockets of heavy rain here and there. Let me bump that down towards the 7-day itself. And speaking of the man himself.
The man with
guys,
the plan.
We got our Weather Chief Bill Taylor in the house.
I'm
about to let him join me here.
Good to see you, brother. Well, no, I don't have much time because we're getting closer to 5. I'm here to tell you that your phone just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't drop your call, I hope. But here's the deal. At 5 o'clock, I'll toss to you, and we want to focus on the supercell, leave outside of San Marcos and moving towards Lockhart.
Yeah.
Want to do that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And then I'll have you toss to Stacia, who's dropped anchor near the Blanco River, and talk about the flooding there. So me to you to Stacia, and Stacia will be back to me.
Okay, excellent.
All right?
Yeah. So guys, right now off scene, what you're getting is you're finding out how we get ready for everything here at Ken's 5. So again, I told y'all I was going to be in the 5 o'clock newscast. That's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of touching base, getting everything organized here for the 5 o'clock news. I hope you can tune in. You'll be able to watch, actually, right here. You'll see me on camera, and then you'll also be able to watch me on TV. So I'm going to be live right here, and we'll also be live on TV. So all sorts of stuff that you're going to be able to hear. And let me actually talk to my director real quick. So y'all are going to be able to hear this too. But hey guys, can y'all hear me? Okay. I think they're good. Anyway, sorry. Again, talking to the director through my IFB, and we're getting ready for the 5 o'clock newscast here. So there you saw the 7-day forecast. Let me actually bump it back to that. We didn't get to talk about it too much. You see the amount of rain we are expecting over the next 7 days. There you have it. An 80% chance for Friday, 90% chance in for Saturday, and then check out Sunday. 50% chance for showers there, and then 50% chance for Monday, 40% chance for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday a 50% chance. So we've got pretty good chances for rain in each day within the 7-day forecast. Again, I told you it's going to be cooler on Saturday. We're going to warm up a little bit by the time we get to Sunday, 69 degrees there for your high after starting off in the 50s. And then we just climb the ladder there. Get all the way up towards 86 degrees by the time we get to Wednesday. And then once we get to Thursday, going to be at 84. I want to show you what the state of Texas is looking like over the next 3 days. You see, we're not the only ones dealing with this. Now, El Paso will be a little bit drier. Amarillo will be a little bit drier. But everybody else, well, they're kind of in the same boat we are. Lots of rainfall. So I want to always look at the 8 to 14 day forecast too. I like to show this, and kind of gives us an idea of what we can expect. Around average to maybe above average rainfall possible for the next 8 to 14 days. That's between day 8 to day 14 rather, so beyond the 7-day forecast. As far as temperatures are concerned, maybe cooler than average. So we may be seeing temperatures maybe in the lower 70s by the time we head into day 8 through day 14. And that'll be nice to have maybe a little bit of a cool down here and there. So again, heavy rain still moving through. Talked about that severe thunderstorm warning that's up towards Lockhart. Still has that possibility of producing some hail, just not seeing as much in the way of hail with that. I'm going to try to talk to my director again real quick, guys. Hey, guys, can you hear me back there? I'm not really hearing from them right now. So,
what do you need, Andrew?
I was just making sure that they could hear me back there. And also, am I at the A block or in the C block? Or in main weather, rather? Again, a lot of coordinating going here behind the scenes that you're actually going to get to see play out on TV.
Bills and first weather. They put in Stacia. Were you supposed to be in the 5?
I am. So it should be Bill, me, then Stacia. So I think that's what it is. That's what Bill said. All right, guys, we're going to jump back into this. Sorry, we're trying to coordinate a few things behind the scenes. There's that heavy rain moving through Lockhart. I could see them going ahead and expiring the severe thunderstorm warning soon. We'll watch it closely, though, just in case. Yeah, Bill, that has been quite a hefty sell. You know, it put down possibly some golf ball size hail just west of Lockhart. And that's going to continue to move off towards the northeast. So we'll watch that real closely. But, you know, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning right now down towards LaSalle and McMullen counties. Take a look at this. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of a hail core just north of Tilden. This is a pretty serious hail core that's just north of Tilden. You know, that could be some very large hail that's about to cross Highway 16. So, guys, I've been setting up some stuff for the 5 o'clock newscast, but we're actually going to jump right into this storm now itself. So, here we go. Just north of, I guess that's 72, and about to cross 16. It says billiard ball sized hail, golf ball, hen egg. Guys, this is just really large hail that's about to cross 16. That's what you need to know. Let me pull that up on Google Maps. Let me show you, let me get an idea of, I always like to pull up Google Maps because it gives me an idea of what businesses may be near this. Sometimes it's easier to know what businesses will be impacted near you. I'm kind of listening to what Bill's saying too, what he's got going on back on screen. So sorry guys, kind of trying to do more than one thing at once here. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning down closer towards our friends in Tilden. This storm is not heading towards San Antonio or Bexar County, but something we're going to watch closely. So this is going to come near the Anthony Arrowhead Ranch, if you know where that is. This will be north of the Pilot Travel Center there along Highway 16. We're going to see this storm move east closer towards the Choke Canyon Reservoir. I think it's going to be just north of the Choke Canyon Reservoir, rather. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued recently for LaSalle and McMullen County, and this is until 5:30 p.m. This is the only real good hail core that we have out there at the moment. I'm not seeing anywhere else. I see one just east of Lockhart. That's moving away from our area, and I see one just south of Lockhart, but that is going to be only pea-sized hail, so that's not damaging hail at all. I'm going to bring Facebook back out because I had to put my phone in my pocket for a second in case we did the live shot. So, guys, got my phone back out here. Again, we do have a very large hail core right now for a severe thunderstorm warning. That is just north of Tilden. We've been watching this grow here. I mentioned it a while back when it was just about pea size near Fowlerton. And notice as we go through the timeline here, 4 o'clock it grows. Gets a little bit bigger by the time we get towards about 4:30 and then 5 o'clock. Once we get to 5 o'clock, it gets really big. Cool. Excellent. Thank you so much. Guys, once again, coordination in the newsroom. There's not a lot of people in here right now. We got about maybe 10 people or less in the station right now. It's probably less than 7. I mean, it's a really small amount of people in the station right now, and we're all just trying to coordinate with everybody who's working from home, like much of y'all are, as we head throughout the next few weeks here. So, still watching, man, we may get some good hail right in Tilden. We may be getting that right now. So, it would be better right now if you can move your car up under cover. If you're in Tilden, the hail likely moving in at the moment. This is going to move on off towards the northeast. Let me put a tracker on this. I want to put a tracker right over the hail cores itself. I'm even going to bring it down to this other hail core down here near Tilden. And, alright, so, Callahan may see this by 5:31, 5:55 for Whitsett. And those are just some areas that could be dealing with some of the larger hail as we head throughout these next really 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty good hail core about to cross Highway 16. No one needs to be on Highway 16 right now if right now you're in north of Tilden. If you're just north of Tilden, no one needs to be driving along Highway 16. If you got friends or family driving along it, you may want to tell them to go ahead and pull over because that is a very large amount of hail that could do damage to vehicles. Could be a very serious situation if you drove your car through that. You would definitely have damage to your windshield. Again, that's golf ball size. I'm willing to bet I could find some larger, if I kept clicking around in there, I could find some larger hail eventually. But again, that's just not what you want to be driving your car through. No hail for anybody else at the moment, other than maybe a little bit of pea-size hail here and there. I'm going to loop the radar here because I want everyone to see where the rain's going. And guys, I'm just going to let this loop for a second while I try to get some things organized here behind the scenes. Notice this shower really taking off in southern Maverick County. We're going to watch that one closely. Whenever you have a shower intensify quickly like that, sometimes you can get a good storm to develop. So we'll be watching that closely as it moves closer towards Carrizo Springs and Cotulla, but right now not really much of a concern with it. So guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to get some things organized here behind the scenes. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, I was just getting a few things organized back here behind the scenes. Again, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for LaSalle and McMullen County. I want to go ahead and put how many lightning strikes we've had in the last 15 minutes, because that's something else we've been dealing a lot with these storms. You see the amount of lightning we've had there near Tilden. Maybe 183 lightning strikes. You just updated. 186 lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. That is a ton of lightning within that storm, which is still possibly putting down a lot of large hail just along Highway 16 as it shifts on off towards the east. That is the only severe warning we have out there right now, other than the flash flood warning that continues for Blanco, Kendall, and Gillespie County until 6 p.m. Again, they've had a lot of heavy rain there. I was checking out this other pocket. You may have seen that on screen while I was taking a moment here behind the scenes. That's going to be moving into that same region. So that's going to be moving in, and I think it's going to pass just south of the area of the Blanco River. So I don't think that's going to fall within the Blanco River. I think that's going to be more the Guadalupe River basin. But still, some heavy rainfall falling up towards Stonewall and all the way down towards Blanco. So Fredericksburg stretching out to Harper and about to move over parts of where Enchanted Rock is, northern Gillespie County, or central to northern Gillespie County. Going to see some heavy rainfall where Enchanted Rock is, and then shift on off to the east along 16, and then eventually over towards Round Mountain. That storm that was closer on towards our friends in Lockhart, not as much of an issue anymore. Still possibly putting down up to pea-size hail, but that's about it. The larger hail that we're dealing with, still down for our friends in Tilden, and man, that could be some really large hail down towards Tilden, possibly up to hen egg size. So that's pretty good size hail. That's moving along Highway 72, and that's going to come near FM 99 and Callahan. This is going to be on your doorstep really within the next about 15 minutes or so. So it's best to get your car under cover there, because that's going to be some very large hailstones that are going to be falling there along 72. That just went through Tilden. So I hope you were able to get your car under cover in time. And this hail is going to continue to, this hail core will continue to move along 72, and then eventually closer towards FM 99. This will then get closer to Three Rivers, and it will likely cross I-37 closer towards Three Rivers. So that's kind of the trajectory of this hail core. And you see it could be a lot of hail, not just for Tilden, but stretching up north through Highway 16. More pea-sized hail when you get up there north of Highway 6, north of Tilden. But honestly, they need to reproduce the severe thunderstorm warning, because the hail core is now moving outside of the severe thunderstorm warning polygon itself. You see how it's kind of gone outside here. They're probably going to reissue a warning here, and I'm willing to bet it's facing more this direction. So outside of the severe thunderstorm warning is Tilden, but you honestly are in a severe thunderstorm warning. Even though the National Weather Service has not issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Tilden, you are under that right now as that large hail moves through. Listen, this severe thunderstorm is moving along Highway 72. If you are in Callahan, you are not under a severe thunderstorm warning. You are not in the polygon, but you should be. So go ahead and get that car under cover. Also, be aware that there could be some strong winds with this as well. This is going to move towards Three Rivers. Three Rivers not currently under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I would say you should be. Go ahead and take those precautions to move the vehicle under cover, because that's where we're seeing, I think that's the direction this hail core is going to be going to as it continues off towards the east. Hopefully the National Weather Service will reissue a warning here in just a moment, because I really think we need to see one reissued here soon. Again, this will be impacting I-37 and Three Rivers, Highway 72 near Tilden, In 16, where 16 and 72 meet, that's where we're seeing the larger hail. Possibly up to golf ball size. And guys, I'm trying to multitask here because we're coming up here in the show in just a moment. But that's really where we're seeing the hail at the moment. A lot of heavy rain really for everybody else. Not so much in the way of hail. Not seeing any hail risk for San Antonio at the moment. Alright guys, so back again. I turned down my mic here for just a moment as I was getting organized for some things. But I want you to look just east of Tilden. Guys, we got tennis ball size hail possible along Highway 72. So we need, we would definitely want to have everybody take their car indoors or undercover. Even though the severe part of this thunderstorm is now outside of the severe thunderstorm polygon, we're talking just outside Tilden. So Tilden may have just had a good amount of hail go through it, and
Andrew Wilson, please call the control room.
that's going to continue to move east. And guys, I got to actually answer something in the control room. Give me 1 second. Yeah, can you hear me? Let's see if they can hear me in the control room. Sorry, guys. Yes, test 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got you on I got you on right now. Sorry guys. Seems that my mic had turned off there for just a moment, so I got my mic back. Again, we are watching a hail core that is just outside of Tilden that possibly has some very damaging hail with it. This is going to be moving east-northeast, and we're talking about Callahan and areas stretching into along I-37 and 281. This is where some of the larger hail may be. Maybe grapefruit-sized hail. And guys, we're actually about to be on TV right here. Bill Taylor, Weather Chief Bill Taylor is on TV at the moment. He's about to toss to me here in the VMix area. We're going to be giving you a complete update on everything. Cool. Yeah, Bill, this is one heck of a storm that we have right now, moving just through Tilden, just passed through, and man, we've got some big hail associated with it possibly. Right now, looks like we could have grapefruit-sized hail that just moved through Tilden and is going to continue to move kind of east there along Highway 72 and kind of just north of 72, and then kind of make its way closer on towards I-37. Definitely a road we don't need people on right now. Callahan may see a little bit of this large hail as well. This is very damaging hail. If it does verify to be grapefruit size, that is something you do not want to be outside in. You don't want your car under. And definitely some very large hail. You know, we also have had a lot of heavy rainfall falling across the region, especially when you get closer on up towards Blanco, where we currently have a flash flood warning in place. And out there in Blanco County right now, we toss things over to meteorologist Stacia Wilson. How's it looking out there, Stacia? All right, sorry guys. Again, we were on TV just now again, but once again, we're also still staying live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and on the website. We've got some large hail.
Look great.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Jack.
Yes,
you
sir.
may want to let the digital team know, make sure they're aware. We just had possibly grapefruit-sized hail go through Tilden.
Thank you.
So I don't have a way to access them right now, but thank you. Yeah, large hail again with this storm. This is probably the worst of the severe thunderstorms that we have seen so far today. It's definitely the largest hail that we've seen so far today, guys. Sorry that we were trying to get ready for the 5 o'clock show there, and I realized I had taken my mic off for a second, and I had forgotten to turn it or put it back on. So I'm glad that we have it back on again. And actually, yeah, I had it laid across in front of me. So, again, this is a storm that's going to be continuing to move on off towards the east and really causing some large hail for our friends south of San Antonio and south of Bexar County. Now, this is not a storm that is impacting Bexar County. It's not expecting to impact Bexar County at all. Right now, just seeing regular old rain and a little bit of lightning here and there here within the county and near San Antonio. You see up along 410 near Leon Valley. I heard that rumble of thunder here outside the station not too long ago, but that has now started to move kind of away from the region. As far as future clouds and radar is concerned, you notice by the time we get towards 6:30 p.m., seeing those heavier showers move closer towards Pearsall. You see it over towards Pleasanton. That will continue to move southeast. So right now we're seeing the heavier rain down towards Tilden. You're not even done yet. You got more rain headed your way. Could be for messy conditions here as we head into parts of tonight, closer on towards 9 p.m. So I think that this storm will likely be probably the worst storm that we see today, the one that we have down towards Tilden. I'm willing to bet that would be the strongest storm that we deal with, just because of how large the hail is. I mean, that's a pretty significant size for the hail that's moving through right now. All right, so still looking at grapefruit-sized hail just east of Highway 16. You see I-37 going to see some of that heavier rain. Could also see some large hail in Whitsett. So if you're up towards Whitsett, that's where we could also have some of the larger hail move through. I think that is going to move kind of closer towards your region. I'm actually hearing myself a little late. Let me turn that down. I can actually take my IFB off now. Sorry, guys. I've been trying to multitask here behind the scenes. Caused for a little bit of confusion. So this severe thunderstorm warning again, that is issued for parts of McMullen County. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warning boxes, but it's really for the same storm. This is going to be until about 5:30 p.m., and it's going to continue to move into Live Oak County. You see now parts of Live Oak County under a severe thunderstorm warning as well until 5:30. It's for mainly areas west of I-37, but I'm telling you now, I would not want to be on I-37 as this storm goes through, especially since it has that history of producing tennis ball size hail. So a lot of heavy rainfall associated with this. We also have that heavy, that large hail, and we also have a lot of lightning. And I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on all these storms because we have such messy weather kind of across the region. And right now, just seeing a lot of heavy rainfall moving through the area. I'm going to see if we've got any reports from the National Weather Service. It's always good to talk to our friends at the National Weather Service, see if there's any more reports. Y'all give me just one moment here. I'm going to bring radar up. I'm going to stay on my mic, though, just in case y'all need to hear something else from me. So, again, still have a lot of heavy rain that we're expecting over the next few hours here in South Texas. It's not going to let up here anytime soon. Just be ready to be dealing with some of this heavier rainfall. I see a significant weather advisory is in place for that. Remember that shower and storm that we were talking about down towards Maverick County, southern Maverick County earlier? Well, for Dimmitt and Maverick County, there's a significant weather advisory for that storm just because it could be producing some pea-sized hail, just to kind of let people know, hey, be on the lookout for that one. We're watching it closely. The flash flood watch continues until midnight. Of course, we were talking about how that flash flood watch has been issued for much of the hill country, but I'm not seeing any reports of any hail or any large hail being reported for our friends down in Tilden just yet, but I would not be surprised if we ended up seeing some here as we headed throughout these next couple of hours that we could have seen some larger hail. I'm actually going to check my Twitter as well. I always love to check Twitter to see if anything could be showing up out there. So right now the main risk is with this storm down towards Tilden. Again, that storm could be producing maybe even grapefruit-sized hail, which is very large. It's something that you would not want your car out under. I definitely would have been moving my car if I would have known that grapefruit-sized hail would be coming my direction as well. So that is going to be moving towards I-37. I'm still pulling up my Twitter, guys, trying to see if there's any reports. If you have any reports yourself, leave them in the comments because I would love to have those extra reports to be able to send out to everybody else. Now, you can't get a better report than a ground report than what people are seeing right there as the rain moves through. If anybody has any questions, please send them my way. Franco says Gonzalez, question mark. The answer is not really seeing too much your way. A lot of heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail, and that's about it. How much rain did Uvalde get? The answer is you've seen anywhere from about 1 to, I'm willing to bet, 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. Yep, 2.4 inches of rain for parts of Uvalde there. So again, guys, we're going to continue to track this rainfall here and the severe thunderstorm warning until the severe thunderstorm warning is over. Hopefully the hail core continues to calm down because that is quite some large hail that just passed through Tilden and is continuing its way on off towards the east. So still looks like it's pretty large. This is moving along 72. Callahan, this is about to come through your area. So we're talking very large hail about to move through Callahan. I just took off the watch boxes so we can get an idea. It's hen egg size, so a little bit bigger than a golf ball. That's what you need to know. Golf ball size hail would definitely do damage to your car. Hen egg size hail would definitely do damage to your car as well. This is going to be moving closer and closer. It's moving down Highway 72 and it's moving closer and closer towards I-37, and it will be impacting that area pretty soon. So we're going to continue to, I'm going to let this loop here for just a moment while I step off screen for just a second. I do, yes. Thank you. As I gather some more information here, see if I can find out what's going on with this storm down in Tilden. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, we're back. Just need a moment here. We've been live now for a few hours. So, again, that severe thunderstorm warning, they did just update it. You notice the new warning box does include our friends in George West and Three Rivers. So this is the latest on that warning. I told you I was trying to gather a few things together back here behind the scenes, but this is the latest on that severe thunderstorm warning. It is until 6:15 p.m. Going to be moving across I-37. Somewhere around Three Rivers to George West. That is going to be along 72 and 281. So we'll be moving across 72 and 281. Now I'm going to put a storm tracker on this too because this is quite a hail core, guys. Again, this could be producing anywhere from golf ball size to hen egg size hail. So I'm going to storm track on the hail core itself. We're talking the Simmons area by 5:44. Right now it is 5:30. So by 5:44 in the Simmons area, 5:55 it approaches Three Rivers. Ike by 6:08, 6:09 it's getting closer to Oakville, and then 6:21 p.m. going to get closer towards Ray Point. So that's what we're talking about whenever we're talking about some of this larger hail, going to be getting closer around that time. That is going to be near I-37. Again, I can't stress this enough. Do not be driving down I-37 right now with this large hail. Just wait, give it about 45 minutes, and then you can drive on through. You really don't want to get stuck up in this severe thunderstorm. Still not seeing much in the way of hail for anybody else. If I turn off everything else, let me turn all this off so we can get a good look at the region. The only hail that we're seeing is really for our friends down just east of Tilden in McMullen County, about to move into Live Oak County. Not really seeing any big issues with hail anywhere else, other than this hail core over towards Gonzales. Let's take a closer look at this one, about to cross 183 north of Gonzales. The size of the hail, about a walnut size. That is not a severe size hail. That's not severe criteria, rather. Still wouldn't want your car up under that, but it's not going to do, it will do little to no damage with walnut size. So that's going to be north of Gonzales, shifting on off towards the east. And then, again, that's the only other real area of hail that we're seeing other than maybe a light amount of pea-size hail here and there in some spots. Is Pearsall going to get large hail? The answer is, Cynthia, not as of right now. You could see a little bit of pea-size hail, though, as we head throughout the next hour or two. Notice just to your west, seeing a little bit of pea-size hail, not seeing the large stuff, but if this storm intensifies, it could produce some larger hail. So we'll watch that very closely. Right now, it doesn't look like it's too much of a concern, but it does have a good amount of lightning with it as I turn lightning back on. So we'll watch that one closely, of course. But right now, that only main area for concern is going to be just northeast of Tilden, moving into Live Oak County, and then going to shift across I-37. We're also going to watch that area up towards Gonzales pretty closely. But right now, no concern in Gonzales. Heavy rain has been the main concern today. We have the severe thunderstorm watch, and we also have the flash flood watch in place. The flash flood watch has been trimmed back a little bit for some of our counties now that that boundary is starting to move through. We may be starting to see a little bit of cooler conditions as well start to settle in behind it. Now remember, we also have the severe thunderstorm watch in place. That has started to been trimmed back as well. Not for everybody, but we have seen it trimmed back in some areas. So there's the cold front. 67 in San Antonio. It's 73 in Floresville. It's 88 in George West. Clear as day right there. 57 in Bernie, 51 in Kerrville. We've already got 40s in Fredericksburg. Already starting to shift through, and a big cool down behind it. You can really tell with those temperature changes between Rock Springs all the way to George West. We got a 40-degree temperature swing across the viewing area, even 41 with those with that 47 in Fredericksburg. So very much cooler air going to settle in for tonight and for into tomorrow as well. And that's that cold front, again, that's what's really starting to, or trying to fuel some of these storms, and as what has brought us some of these more severe thunderstorms, like the one that's moving into Live Oak County. So Highway 72, again, I'm going to shift things back down to this storm, this severe thunderstorm warning we're talking about. I'm going to turn off lightning so we can see this a bit better. Highway 72, again, seeing that large amount of hail. It looks like, excuse me, the downdraft has taken a little bit more control. Notice the hail not as large as what it was just a few minutes ago. Again, near Tilden, we had tennis ball size hail. It's now shrunk. We had grapefruit size even at one point. It's shrunk down, and now we likely have just around golf ball size hail right there along Highway 72. We do. Golf ball size hail moving along 72. And hopefully this continues to get smaller as this storm gets closer towards Three Rivers. It's not a guarantee. It could pump back up again and get a little bit stronger. But right now, the hail core shrinking a bit as it moves along 72 between Three Rivers and Tilden. Now this will eventually get closer towards George West, 281 and I-37, but right now it's kind of just on the east side of McMullen County, and then it will move in to Live Oak County over the next about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to show you the motion on this. If I loop it around, you'll notice that it really spiked right as it went through Tilden, and then it shrunk again. If anybody is watching from Tilden, please let me know. Let me know if you saw hail at your house. I'd love to get that, get an idea of how large the hail was down there, so we can get a better report to our friends that are over towards Three Rivers and George West, so they know what could be headed their way. Again, though, could be possibly golf ball size hail in East McMullen County and into parts of Live Oak County.
I'm heading north.
Okay.
Put on the live truck camera, and in about 5 minutes up I-10 towards Bernie, exiting at Camp Bullis.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. We'll get an idea of we're going to get an idea about what road conditions are like in areas that are seeing really heavy rainfall and areas that are seeing heavy rain right now. So our news directors came up to me, gave me an update. We're going to get a live look at what roads are like along I-10, stretching from northwest San Antonio up towards Camp Bullis, where we currently have some heavy rainfall already falling. So I'll keep an eye out for that. That way we can have that up on the screen for you as well. That's the main thing, though, right now, guys. It's mainly just heavy rain, and we have that one severe thunderstorm warning for McMullen and Live Oak. If anybody has any questions, again, please feel free to ask them. I would be happy to answer them, and that way we can all get a better idea about what's going to be going on here these next few days. Which, by the way, let's go ahead and hop into future clouds and radar and talk a little bit about the amount of heavy rain we're expected to see these next couple of days. So by 6:30 p.m. tonight, notice that we still have that heavier rain moving through. Once we get towards 9 p.m., George West, Live Oak and McMullen counties may get even more heavy rain by 9 p.m. So right now you're already seeing that heavy rain move through. You may not be done yet. You could see even more rain by that time. Notice the temperatures by about midnight. It's trying to show 40s and 50s. We've already got some 40s, so I think that the model may be running a little bit too warm. We're going to be having a lot of 40s across the areas we hit throughout tonight. By the time we get to 7 a.m. on Saturday, there you see the rain starting to pop up again, 40s and 50s on the board, and then we start to only warm up to the upper 50s, lower 60s for our Saturday afternoon. Saturday not going to be that warm. It's going to be cooler. Going to have more rain in the forecast, and the rain continues towards 7 p.m. And yes, we even have more rain as we head into Sunday. Sunday at 4:30 a.m. There's rain, and yes, it continues into Sunday afternoon, but we will be warming up. Temperatures back into the upper 60s to lower 70s across the region. It's going to be welcomed after we have that cooler day here in South Texas. And that's, of course, all because of that cold front passing through. 47 in Fredericksburg, 69 in Pleasanton, and then 88 in George West. So you see a big swing in our temperatures as that cold front passes through the region. Another look at your 7-day forecast is going to show that we're going to have those temperatures warming up by the time we get towards the middle of the work week next week. Really, even as we get into the early part of the work week next week, we could see temperatures into the 80s there for highs, and 86 for the high on Wednesday, which will be really welcomed after 61 for the high on Saturday. All those rain chances, unfortunately, we're just not going to have a dry day in here. We're going to have that chance for rain each and every day. And the amount of rain we see over the next 7 days is pretty significant. You see there that we could see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall as we head throughout the next 7 days. So heavy rain really expected across the region. It's going to be something that's going to stick around really as we head throughout the next 7 days here. So just be ready for that rain. One of the good things about the rainfall, though, it helps out the allergens. Oak just came in at light today compared to the last really week to 2 weeks where we had heavy to very heavy counts on the oak. So it's nice to know that the oak's going to start to back off a little bit now that we've got some heavy rain to knock it out of the sky. Just wish we could get some dry days to get outside and enjoy the lower levels of oak. And then again, I want to check back down at this storm. Let's go ahead and bounce things back to it. The severe thunderstorm that is moving through parts of McMullen and Live Oak. It looks like the hail core continues to shrink. Still possibly golf ball size hail, but if you notice, it is definitely getting smaller compared to what it was. So I hope that can continue to happen before the hail core even gets to Simmons. I still think Simmons is going to see hail, so be ready for that. Highway 72, still not a good road to be on. 281, not a good road to be on either. Three Rivers, you might want to move your car up under cover, as well as Simmons, Ike, and George West. I-37 could see a little bit of hail over the next couple of hours, so all things we're going to want to keep a close eye on. Also want to bump things up and kind of show off what our live weather cam is showing out in the field. Right now, we're going to get a live look at what the road conditions are kind of like outside, because we're dealing with a little bit of a wet roadways kind of all across the region. You know, not just in parts of the hill country where we've had the flash flood warning, but we've also had some wet roadways here in San Antonio pretty much all day. We've been dealing with that heavy rain that's been falling off and on. Even if you're not having heavy rainfall, you're probably at least seeing light to moderate rain that's been going on as we've headed throughout today, and that's made for some really damp roadways. It's not the best day to be out driving unless you have to be. If you have to be out today, it's totally understood. I know some people still have to be heading into work, even though a lot of us are in this situation with the coronavirus right now. But if you have to be at work, you know, just take it easy on those roadways. It's definitely not the best day to just be out for a drive. So we'll go ahead and take a live look out at our live weather truck. Weather truck is right now kind of cruising along Fredericksburg, I believe, where you see some of those damp roadways, and we'll keep that up to kind of keep an idea about what the rain's like outside. I guess I'm going to step off camera real quick just to make sure that we got our audio down on there as well. So I'm kind of working a few different things here behind the scenes. But there you have it. Highway 72, that's where we have that little bit of hail moving through. And then over towards Three Rivers is where we could see some of that larger hail as well. Now I want to zoom things out a bit. Get a better idea of what's going on up here towards Gonzales. Remember, I told you about that hail core near Gonzales, and guys, they have severe warned it now. So we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for our friends in Gonzales County. This does include the town of Gonzales, but I will tell you, if you're in Gonzales, the severe part of this storm is not impacting you. The severe part of the storm is north of Gonzales itself, but it's in Gonzales County. This is going to be moving towards Highway 304 and then eventually over 97. Guys, this hail core has been growing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continued to grow. So just a heads up, we could have golf ball size hail moving over Highway 304 and then over Highway 97, closer on towards Saturn, and then over towards Hickston. So large hail possible there. with that storm. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning now for Gonzales County until 5 p.m. We now have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings out there in our viewing area. One that's located in McMullen, moving into Live Oak, and another one in Gonzales County, moving off towards the east. So heavy rainfall really across much of the region. Off and on heavy rain, moderate to heavy rain, and again, the main risk with these storms has been hail. Now, we've had that chance for damaging winds, but remember what we said. The higher threat today is going to be damaging wind gusts and hail. That's what we've had so far. Flash flooding was also a risk. That's what we've had up towards Blanco and into parts of Gillespie and Kendall counties. And then that isolated tornado risk, remember, that was very low. It's not at 0 still. It's very low, though. We're not expecting tornadoes to be as much of a concern today. So far, that's what has verified in our forecast. These severe thunderstorms that have been producing large hail at times have been the main concern. If I turn everything off here except for hail, you'll see where that larger hail is. Again, just saw it spike down towards Tilden, and man, look at that thing shrink. So I said the downdraft was really taking control, and there it goes. Withered down to, now we don't even have golf ball size hail. We may have just walnut, grape size hail moving into Live Oak. Great news. So I think that they're going to let this severe thunderstorm warning really kind of wither away here. I think that by really 6 o'clock, unless that hail core gets more significant again, we may see that severe thunderstorm warning just get expired early or canceled. We'll watch that closely, but right now, not as much of a concern for our friends in Live Oak County, so that's good news. But if you look up towards Gonzales County, that's where we had the larger hail core a second ago, and it looks like it's starting to shrink. So both of these severe thunderstorm warnings are until 6:15, but again, both of these hail cores not as significant as what they were before. Take a look at our live weather truck headed down the road right now, up I-10, I believe that is. You see very wet roadways, a lot of cars out there. It's not the nicest day to be out on a drive. Unless you have to be out, I would go ahead and suggest just staying in because it's looking very wet out there for our Friday afternoon. Again, we also had that flash flood warning off to Blanco County, Kendall, and Gillespie. That's until 6 o'clock, so for about 14 more minutes here.
How you doing, buddy?
And Weather Chief Bill Taylor back in.
Wow.
You know, we've had a little bit of technical issues here and there, but we've been getting through it.
I know. Well, that's cell to the south. Grapefruit size hail?
Yeah, that was
Heading
huge.
into Three Rivers? How's that storm now?
It's really shrunk. The hail core has really come down.
Oh, good.
Possibly down to just walnut size or lower. I mean,
Wow.
look at how
It's a
quick.
monster storm.
Look at how quick. Almost as quick as it grew, it collapsed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Talk about. And thankfully, it happened in between Tilden and Three Rivers, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they still got some large hail in Tilden, but hopefully, it looked like it was on just the north side. Hopefully, most of it stayed outside the town. And then Gonzales, finally, this storm was kind of like a brief period of large hail and
yeah.
maybe golf ball size, and then it's now kind of collapsed too. And guys, again, these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings till 6:15, but you know, the severe threat with these was mainly the hail, and it's really started to go down. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel them early, as long as they continue to weaken.
Well, the good news, too, is that, you know, it was a real race. It was interesting to watch how this unfolded today. You had this upper-level disturbance coming in from the west and the cold front from the north. The front beat the disturbance here. You know, we watched that disturbance 12:30, quarter to 1, start cranking up some dangerous supercells out to our west. We had Del Rio into Bracketville getting hail and high winds, small hail, and we had a couple of active warnings. And again, that was before 2 o'clock. But then the cold front came in and helped stabilize things enough that we watched a lot of these storms produce good heavy rain, but stay shy of severe from San Antonio north. But to the south, the dew points are still high. The front hasn't made it there yet, and you're watching these storms crank up and still get very active very quickly. So the air's stabilizing for us now. It's cooler outside. It's breezy. Dew points are dropping so fast. They're already in the 40s in the hill country. I mean, it's unbelievable. These are actual temperatures now. Look at this.
Yeah, check this out.
It's 48 in Rock Springs. That's an air temperature. That's not a dew point.
Yeah, it's a 20.
Wow.
It's a 21 degree, or excuse me, no, 40.
Well, I was going to say
41 degree
How about-
difference
yeah,
across our viewing area
From
right
Rock
now.
Springs to Beeville is exactly 40 degrees, and George West, both at 88. That's amazing. I mean, this is a cold front, first Friday of April, and we've got a serious cold front moving through.
Yeah.
So tonight, we're still going to have a flash flood threat. You know, this rain's not going to let up. We're going to keep a steady rain, pockets of heavy rain at times. We've got Stacia Wilson anchored along the Blanco River to our north. She'll have a live report coming up on Eyewitness News at 6 p.m. And that's what I was coming to talk to you about, too. We've got, I believe, no role for you in the 6 because it's condensed with the city's coronavirus update. We always take that live at 6:13.
Yeah.
So we'll have Stacia off the top. I'll give a brief weather update, and then we'll hear from the mayor as well as the county judge on what's going on. But we've got the flash flood watch until midnight, and you can still see there's decent rain back to the west. It'll be moving in, and we're still under a good setup for Saturday and Sunday rain. I mean, don't you think that flash flood threat continues over the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, because we had it in the future clouds and radar. I'm going to go ahead and pop that up. Guys, notice how the rain just continues. So that's what we have for tonight. And then we'll get a little bit of a break real quick.
It's an important break.
Yeah.
You know, as long as that holds true and we stay dry overnight, that'll be key.
But by 2:30 on Saturday, more rain.
is,
And
yeah.
that continues into Sunday. Watch. More rain, more light to moderate, but then possibly some pockets of heavy rain again on Sunday.
And if that finds the wrong spot, that's quick flooding because, you know, an overrunning setup like we'll have typically doesn't produce the severe thunderstorms, but you can still get pockets of heavy rain because something we look at, precipitable water has been insane over the last like 3 to 4 days. There's been a lot of moisture ready to rain out.
Yeah, and then this is over the next 7 days. This is the European model that we look at. This is just one weather model, so this isn't exactly what we're going with, but this gives us an idea, you could say, of what we could see.
Look
And you
at
see
that.
some
Carrizo
spots.
Spring. I know y'all are loving that though. 4 inches almost.
Yeah.
3.5 Cotulla. They've really needed that rain down there. That's the extreme drought pocket. So that's really good rains.
Yeah, the drought has again been in a severe to extreme drought range, so heavy rain has been needed. Sometimes you don't want the rain all at once.
And
but,
I noticed what we call the QPF, which is the quantitative precipitation forecast, really shifted the heaviest rain south. I mean, this was a real good sign that we could alleviate some of that extreme drought condition for those of you south of the city.
yeah, and you see down towards Tilden and Cotulla, man, yeah, there it is. There's that heavier rain you were saying.
All right, I'm going to go get ready for Eyewitness News at 6. Great job as always. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
So, again, still expecting the heavier rainfall as we head throughout these next few hours. We still have those severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Weather Chief Bill Taylor will be on at 6 o'clock to give you an update on all of those. The severe thunderstorm warnings still in place. I'm going to check that hail core again. I think those are really starting to calm down now. Gonzales, it's basically non-existent. Let's see if they still have that warning in place. They do, but I could see them canceling that warning any moment now in Gonzales. Down towards in Live Oak County, it looks like that hail core is still there, but not producing that much. Again, that would be right here, very small hail core, heading closer towards George West. So it looks like this will be south of Three Rivers. This will be moving closer towards George West. Again, not a great day to be out on the roads, whether you're going to be down closer to George West or in San Antonio right now. There's a look at I-10. Very wet conditions there. Looking further on off towards the west, I kind of want to take a look at this just southwest of Carrizo Springs, this one storm. Looks like we could have some hen egg size, or not, excuse me, not hen egg size, walnut size hail within this storm as it moves closer towards Highway 83. So we'll be watching that one pretty close. That's moving towards Catarina, but right now not a severe thunderstorm there. Just going to be watching that one for hail. Up towards Gonzales, looks like they're holding on to that severe thunderstorm warning, but I imagine they're going to be expiring that pretty soon. Again, not a ton in the way of severe activity out there today. Much of it was isolated. We're not talking about widespread activity. Much of it was more isolated severe thunderstorms. They just updated the one that is down towards Live Oak County. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring the radar up full here because I want to get a better idea. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service is saying here about this storm closer towards Gonzales. It doesn't look like they have any new updates on it, but it's definitely a weakening storm, I would say. So we'll continue to watch that closely, but really not much that much of a concern for either of these severe thunderstorms at the moment. May still have a severe thunderstorm warning for them, but the hail cores, the main concern with these storms, have definitely started to quiet down. We still have heavy rain for our friends up towards the Blanco River, and I'm going to go ahead and check that out again to see if we have any updates on the river levels. I want to make sure that we keep an eye on that because I know we are seeing the rivers rise in some spots. It doesn't look like flooding is a concern right now. That is river flooding in Blanco. We do have a flash flood warning. You likely have some street flooding in some areas. But as far as river flooding is concerned, not really seeing that along the Blanco River right now. But guys, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Checking the Pedernales and the Guadalupe. All the rivers are looking like they're behaving themselves right now, though. So great news there. But all right, guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and sign off here. Don't forget, Weather Chief Bill Taylor on at 6 o'clock. Going to have the latest on what we're seeing weather-wise. Make sure you tune in. We also have the latest from the mayor and county judge with Bexar County to find out what's going on with the coronavirus here in San Antonio and Bexar County. Those latest numbers, all very important information about what's going on right now. Be sure to tune in. Again, that is going to be during our 6 o'clock show. Be sure to tune in to Ken's 5, Channel 5, with the latest updates on this rainfall. The storms, again, continue to weaken. That severe thunderstorm warning has now been canceled. I was telling y'all that I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled that severe thunderstorm warning in Gonzales, and they have. They've hung on to the one that's closer on towards Live Oak. Weather Chief Bill Taylor will have an update on that at coming up here in just a moment. And guys, stay dry out there. We'll, of course, jump back on if we need to here in just a moment. Have a great one.